Just a hair.
2-0 offering. Hit well to left center field. Back towards the wall. It's gone! Luke Bonfield can jog. He was on a sprint to second base.
What is going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? How you doing? Hope your weekend was great. This is the Big Trail Network. I'm its host and creator, Tyzilla83. And if you guys would, at the end of the video, like, comment, share the content that of course, you just watched. And if you haven't already, feel free to tap the subscribe button. And don't forget the notification bell down below. I'd really appreciate it. The Razorback baseball team has been pretty good. I mean, there's no doubt about that. This year at home, especially at home, undefeated as far as series play is concerned. They didn't lose to anybody. They swept, I think it was 4 SEC opponents. That's pretty big time in itself. On the road, however, they have struggled. Away from Baum Stadium, there's no doubt. Dave Van Horn knows it. He's gotten plenty of emails about it. Winning on the road has been a struggle. Now, there's something I think a lot of fans don't realize. It's not easy to win on the road in a lot of sports. But for some reason, baseball, we tend to overlook that. We tend to just think, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Dave Van Horn has done okay on the road in his long career at the University of Arkansas. I can't ever remember a year where, first off, he had this kind of talent and had these kind of issues on the road. Now, he managed to get some wins on the road. He just couldn't get series wins on the road, which, in the grand scheme of things matters, especially when you're trying to make that, when you're trying to host a super regional. But the question is right now, what is next? And can Dave Horn, because they got to go on the road. I don't have my schedule in front of me. I moved it all the way on the other side of the room. Dadgummit. Yeah, they've got Georgia on, I think it starts on Thursday. They're going to play Georgia on Thursday it's on the road. It's in Georgia. In Bulldog country. So the question is, can they get a win on the road? And I think it would turn a lot of heads, first off, because Georgia's I think Baseball America has them as like a top 15 team. I think D1Baseball.com has them as a top 10 team. Going on the road next weekend is going to be a challenge for the Razorbacks. Georgia, I don't know what their home record is. I know they're good. I know that they're at the very least, they're a top 25 baseball team in the SEC that plays in the SEC. That's really all you need to know. But the Razorbacks, who, again, when you talk about what they've been able to do at home against some really good competition, you wonder why they can't get things put together on the road. And again, it's like basketball, it's like football, the atmosphere, and it's, the environment and everything that kind of goes along with it. And you got to remember, SEC stadiums, I mean, they're not sellouts every week, but when you're as good as the Razorbacks, Ole Miss, Florida, Auburn at one point in time this season, Georgia has been lately, when you're as good as these teams are, fans come. They show up. Now, at Arkansas, they tend to show up even if they're, and that's been one of the advantages to Baum Stadium, is that it's just a wonderful stadium. It's just strange that they're able to do these things at home and be as good as they are at home, but yet on the road, they are polar opposite. I mean, again, it's like Mike Anderson is coaching this baseball team. They can't figure out how to win on the road. Again, it's tough. It's tough, especially when it's the SEC. And when you're ranked inside the top 12, top 15, and you don't even have to be ranked. Just because you're in the SEC, because of how good the SEC is at baseball, especially this year, wow. I think at one point, D1Baseball.com, I think they had like 7 teams ranked in the top 20 from the SEC. They just released their new top 25, and I think they have Arkansas back at 6th. But I'll leave that link down below for you in the description box. But they've got to get some wins this weekend. There's no doubt they've got to get some wins this weekend. I think they need to, in order to host a super. I don't think they have to win the series. I could be wrong, but I feel like, and I've had some people who know college baseball a lot better than I do tell me that they think Arkansas just needs to avoid the sweep next weekend against Georgia, and that they believe 4 SEC teams will be hosting in the top 8 of for the super regionals. 4 SEC teams because of how dominant the SEC was this year. And if that is the case, Arkansas will be one of those teams. If you get swept next weekend, I don't know what happens. My college baseball knowledge kind of ends right there. I'm not really sure what'll happen. You know, I think everything you think you know goes out the window, especially when you're talking about people that make these selections. You don't really know what it is they're looking for, and especially when you look at what Arkansas's not been able to do on the road this year, you wonder how much that hinders them, and how much do they really look at that. And again, I've been reassured by plenty of people that know the game of college baseball more than myself that that's not going to matter, that at the end of the day, their wins, their RPI, their strength of schedule, the fact that they didn't lose a single series at home, that they have such a gnarly record against top 25 opponents, they're fine. I've even had one individual who's followed college baseball for the better part of 20 years tell me that no matter what happens next week in Arkansas will be hosting a super regional. We know they'll be hosting something, but you want to be hosting that super regional, right? So that way your trip to Omaha, assuming you can get some wins, is a little easier. Your trip to the College World Series is just a little easier. So that's it. I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out the content. If you guys would, when we're done here, like, comment, share the content that you just watched. Of course, if you haven't already, feel free to tap the subscribe button. And we'll see you guys again later this week. See you around.